In this connected and digital world, Indigitous is a global movement taking the gospel to new people, new places, and new spaces. Now on its ninth year, wow, 9 years, guys, Hack is more than just a hackathon. Even I actually came to be a part of this global network through Hack in 2015. Wow, that's history. So now I'm glad to introduce you to someone whom I have been learning a lot from and privileged to serve with. Let's listen to Russ Martin, Indigitous co-founder and managing director, to share about what is Indigitous and why Hack. Welcome, Russ.
Hello. Fantastic to be with all of you. And what you see on the screen is one of my favorite photos from 2024 as a number of us from the Global Indigitous Network gathered together in Incheon, Korea at the 4th Lausanne Congress. Many people came to serve, many people came to learn, and I think we all got a bigger picture of what God is doing in the world. Indigitous means indigenous plus digital. And I'm so excited that we've had nearly 300 people from all around the world raise their hand and say, I'm curious and I'm interested in hosting an event as part of our hackathon. Now, why do we do this? We do this because Indigitous is all about bringing the gospel to new people, new places, and new spaces. And we believe that God has put you in a specific place with specific skills and specific abilities, and that through your involvement in the hackathon, that you can be involved in bringing the gospel to new people, new places, and new spaces. And you just never know what God is going to do as we trust Him for big things through this event. Now, let me illustrate just one snippet of what happened through our hack event in 2024. There was a team in South Asia that, as part of the hack event, they said, pastors in our city and where we live know they need to use social media, but they don't know how, or it's too hard for them. And if we just put together a simple website that had templates that people could use on social media, especially a channel like Instagram, that would be a lot more accessible for them to use social media to engage people in their audiences, to help people come to church, to help people know how to follow Jesus better. And so they put together this simple website, a simple landing page with some simple templates that would be easy to use for social media in their context. And wouldn't you know, just a few months later, these social media templates and reels have been used actually over 4 million times. And people have actually come to local churches because local pastors and local volunteers have been able to easily use social media to engage people in their city and in their context for the gospel. And as I was chatting with the team about this, one of the organizers, one of the champions there said, I never knew that such a small step of faith could actually reach millions of people. And so that's our heart and our prayer, that as you consider being a champion for the hack event, that God would use you to bring the gospel to new people, new places, and new spaces. And we believe that God has put you in a specific place, maybe like South Asia, and He's given you a specific calling or a specific skill or a specific project that you might be able to work on. And He can actually use you to bring the good news to a new people, a new place or space. And so we're just asking you to consider, where has God put you and what is the opportunity before you? And that's why hack.
Thank you so much, Russ. So I may see some hands if you were part of Hack last 2024. You could just hit, yeah, you can see me now, right? I was just testing if somebody would notice. I'm kidding. But you could, anybody could just raise their hands if you have been part of Hack in 2024, or you have been part of Hack in the past years. Yes, thank you for being part of history of what God did in the past years. I've heard great stories of how individuals found spaces to serve the Lord through the connections they made, the projects they built, and people they reached out to. You guys have done a great job last year, and this year we would like to do more of that. So we would like to do hack to connect, build, and reach so people in your city can discover Jesus. Hack actually began as a global hackathon back in 2016. The word hackathon is a combination of hack and marathon. So essentially, it's a marathon for hackers. A hackathon is an event set up by a company, usually, or an organization that wants to get a high quality solution through collaboration between experts. So hackathon format is often competitive. We have since taken that idea and made a version of a hackathon where we create solutions to bring the gospel to more people. Hack became a global event where followers of Jesus build solutions to further God's mission. It is hosted in locations all over the world by champions or city hosts who bring Hack to their city. So every hack is built on foundational building blocks that further God's mission, which are people, place, and project. So, okay, stay with me on that. Because what if we open it up to more options and say we make it to be a global event that mobilizes followers of Christ to do these things? So let's put it this way. You could do the usual hackathon where you could get together coding experts and create working apps or websites from 24 to 72 hours and result in one or several finished products to reach out to working professionals in San Francisco. Or you could do a social media engagement hack where you bring people together to craft and plan social media engagement strategies to share the gospel to preteens in Singapore. Or you can create short films or graphics together in 24 hours to reach out to working moms in Manila. Or you can do a game jam to reach out to kids in Beijing, China. Or another or is you can do a digital outreach using gaming tournaments or social media sharing to start spiritual conversations in Lagos, Nigeria. And many more. All these are possible in Hack. So while you're thinking about the possibilities that are presented before you, you should be seeing a QR code right now on your screen that invites you to a WhatsApp community. And this could be a space for you to find people from your country and also be updated of the latest hack community announcements. So I'd like to be connected. As for me, I will join this because I would like to be connected to know more about what other people are thinking and to find people to brainstorm or even to be prayed for by the global hack community as I think about solutions right where I live. So speaking of countries, I know that we did a roll call earlier in this meeting. Did you know that we got 58 countries represented in this meeting? I don't know about you, but it's not every day that I get to be on a call with people from 58 countries around the world. So as you scan the code, we will be sharing later a visual of how that map is going to look like. Wow, 58 countries, and you guys are part of those dots in this map. It's so cool. All right, so some of you have been wondering about what exactly are the problems that we will be solving for. Yes, I know, help fulfill the Great Commission, right? But we got 3 things for you to solve with the people that you will be gathering in your place and space. So yeah, I know that last year, the State of the Great Commission was released, which talked about the gaps and opportunities for the Great Commission. And here are 3 of them. And should you decide to accept the opportunity to be a local hack champion, these are the 3 opportunities or challenges. And depends on how you see it, that you will be building these things or solutions for your hack with these global challenges. Okay. We're excited to share with you a timeline of what global hack looks like. And I would like to invite Naomi with me the Indigitous Global Operations Manager, and the Hack Global Project Manager. Naomi?
Everyone. It's really great to be with you. I'm really excited to be on the team. It's been about a month since I've been on the global team, and I already get to be upfront on a call. So I'll do my best, but I'm really excited to be here with everybody. I'm going to share some of the key dates that we should be keeping an eye out for as our potential hack champions. First off, of course, you're here. It's May 8th, and we are having our hack info session. So we're excited to have you with us. If you're going to be watching the recording later, we're excited that you've been considering being a hack champion. So a few things that you should keep your eyes out for. We have regional info sessions coming up. So for anyone who missed this info session, maybe you're looking on the recording and you're thinking, how can I get involved? How can I learn more? How can I connect with my regional community? We would encourage you to look for those dates as they come up. They're going to be June 6th. We'll have an info session for North America. June 20th, we'll have an info session for South Asia and one for Southeast Asia. On July 10th, we're going to have an info session for Francophone and Portuguese-speaking Africa. And then July 24th, we'll have an info session for Latin America, and that one will be run in Spanish. In the spirit of what we stand for, Indigenous plus digital, we celebrate how this vision is being stewarded in different regions and different contexts. So we encourage you to go to those info sessions for your region. If you're here today and you're thinking of people who you think, hey, I think they might want to host a hack, they're not here today yet, I want them to learn more, then you can encourage them to go to those regional info sessions. We are also going to be running 3 hack guide calls for you. So starting at the end of July, these are going to be optional calls, but if you feel they will help you in your planning, we'll have a call on July 23rd, August 20th, and September 10th. Again, we'll continue to get that information out to you as you sign up to host a hack. We'll make sure you get those dates, but we want to make sure that you are well prepared, that we're supporting you. So we will be running those calls to help you out. We will also have a hack choose your own adventure call. So as Jonah mentioned, there's going to be a few different types of hacks this year, and we want you to be able to explore different types that we're suggesting and also potentially ideate some new ways to do hack. And we want to have people who have hosted those types of hacks before and can share their experience to help you think about how you might do hacks. We're going to run that one on August 7th. And the big dates that you want to think about are in the month of October. So we'll have the hack kickoff call on October 4th. And then we will have the hack celebration on November 1st. And then, of course, we'll have all of the hack events in between that. So every weekend in October, there'll be a hack event. You get to pick the weekend that you want your event to be, and you'll let us know. And then we'll run global connect calls every weekend so that the global team, so that everybody who's running a hack across the world will be able to connect with everybody else who's running a hack across the world that same weekend. All right, so a couple other things I want to let you know about is some key decisions that you'll need to make if you're going to host a hack. We want you to know what you're getting into. So really, there's just a few key steps that you'll have to take if you're going to run a smaller hack. If you are a big planner and you're deciding to run a hack for 400 people, it might be a little bit more complicated, but these are the simple steps that you'll have to take as a hack host. Choose a place. Where are you going to host it? We've had people host them in living rooms. We've had people host them in stadiums. We've had people host them in coffee shops. I think maybe Jonah could tell us a little bit more about, I know she knows lots of different spaces that these hacks have been hosted. Invite people. Think about who you want to invite to join with you. What is your circle? that you're going to invite. Choose your adventures. As we talked about, there's some different types of hacks that you can run. So thinking about what type of hack do you want to run, or are there multiple adventures that you could choose for the people that you invite to do multiple adventures? We want you to celebrate at the end. So of course we're going to have the hack global celebration call, but thinking about how you can celebrate the work that was done in your hack as well. And lastly, we want to share what God did. So we on the global team want to hear from you. We want to hear how God worked in your hack, and we want to share that on a global level. Lastly here, from my part, I'm going to share how we on the global team are going to support you. So we have a variety of ways that we want to make sure you, as a hack champion, as a host, are going to be supported by this global team. So of course, we are going to pray for you, and we're also going to provide opportunities for the hack participants and champions to come together in prayer before hack, during hack, post hack. We have our global support team as well, this core team helping out, and then there's going to be lots of volunteers who come in and help us as well. We have our coaches, so we are gathering a group who will be able to connect with you, to coach you along the way, who will provide advice in a particular skill sets for the different types of hacks, and also be able to give you helpful hints of how to run your event. We have the Hack 2025 community that Jonah already mentioned, getting into WhatsApp groups to be able to support each other along the way and to be supported by the global team. We will also provide you with a hack guide. So these are lots of helpful hints that the team has come together with over the years that will provide you helpful tools to running your hack. We'll provide you with communication resources as well. Priscilla and the marketing team has done a great job in the past years of compiling different resources for you to be able to share about your hack, to invite people, to show your communities what you're doing. Some branding so that you can, put up your banners and whatever you choose to do for that. We will run 3 hack guide calls, as I mentioned in the schedule as well. So those, again, they're optional training calls. If you've done this before and you feel ready to go and you don't need us at all, that's totally fine. If you're a little bit nervous and you think, I really would love Jonah to coach me through some of these details, I would love someone who's done this before. We are glad to walk alongside you in these virtual calls and to be able to give you some training and answer your questions. We will also be available for some one-on-one calls if you need a little bit more help along the way. All right, so if you have any further questions about any of the things that we've said here, we invite you to reach out to hack@indigitous.org or reach out to the WhatsApp community as well. All right, I'm going to pass it back over to you, Jonah.
Thank you, Naomi. I'm so excited just looking at those items over there. If you need help, just email hack@indigitous.org. If you have further questions, or you can join the WhatsApp community right now and share in your questions, and we are here to help you answer those questions. Okay, so there are different opportunities that people have experienced last year on their hackathon, and I've invited all 3 people to share how hack has been for them. And 2 of them are students, and one of them is a professional, at the same time also a coach by her own experiences. And so this time, let's watch these videos as different people from different parts of the world share their experiences and how God has used it to be an opportunity for them to also grow in their walk with God.
God provided a project to work on, a place to meet, and people to be consultants. My name is Nicholas, and I'm a student at Bethel University. I decided to host a hackathon last year. I first decided to host it because I heard that it could be as chill as just like 5 friends in a dorm room getting pizza and working on a project. As I got some friends together and we started praying for it and organizing it, we decided to open it up to a lot more people. We worked on a transcript uploader and processor for Missio, which is an organization under One Hope. Missio helps people all over the world get access to high quality Christian education at an affordable cost. Our work was to specifically automate some manual tasks involved in transcript processing. I'm very thankful for the outcome of our hackathon because we had a lot of fun. We brought people together, made some new connections, we enjoyed some pizza. One of the participants was quite thankful also for this opportunity and continued on with the project with Missio afterwards. It was also very beneficial for my faith because we saw how God provided a project to work on, a place to meet, and people to be consultants. So you never know what God will do. He does amazing things. I would encourage those considering to host Hack to ask themselves, what are the reasons for doing it? It can be very helpful to write those down and hold fast to them. And if you feel like the Holy Spirit is stirring in you to do it, by all means, go ahead. It can be a lot of fun.
That's a great invitation, Nicholas. Thank you. Then right now we'll have another student also share her experience.
If you have a desire to reach this next generation for Jesus, this is for you. Hi there, my name is Joy, and I'm excited to tell you about my hack experience here in Iloilo City. So last year was actually one of the most fulfilling things that I've done as a student. I didn't just participate a workshop, but I actually lead a social media initiative strategy for all of the participants there. So our heart is to actually reach the youth through digital content. We taught them how to strategize content and as well as build a brand in which they can reach students for Jesus. We organize a team wherein every team member actually have different roles and positions. It was actually fulfilling, but at the same time, it was a big thing to take care about because it's not just about randomly posting something, but we're actually prayerfully and strategically thinking what are those posts that can reach this youth here in the Philippines. So now, if you have a desire to know more about Hack and if you have a desire to reach this next generation for Jesus, this is for you. So pray about it, think about it, and most of all, leave the results to God. And as long as you're seeking God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and your heart is to glorify God, for sure, He'll make it happen.
Thank you, Nicholas and Joy. I'm grateful for these two brave souls who took faith steps. And another story that I am encouraged to hear more of is one of our hack champions, who was also one of our biggest encouragers to other champions as they journeyed through organizing their local events. I would like to welcome on screen Dawn to share her story as well.
Hello, hello. So yeah, I don't have my camera on. I'm sorry about that. I think I mentioned I was gonna be on camera, but that's okay. You guys are good. So my name is Dawn. Can everybody hear me okay? Great. So I'm calling from Atlanta, and I have to always shout out that I'm originally from New York City because everyone from New York always has to let you know that. But no, this has just been an awesome opportunity and time, and I've always excited to talk about hack because it's something that I started a long time ago in tech and in education, and was always kind of feeling a little lonely as a Christian in technology, just wondering, was there anyone else like me? And I've told the story a couple of times, but I went to my first Christian hackathon some years ago. I think it was like 2015, 2016, the Code for the Kingdom. And that kind of was a bug for me because there wasn't anything in New York City. And so I ended up flying out to Atlanta, and then I flew out to London for a similar project, and then ended up organizing one in New York City with Nyack College at the time. And that was pretty awesome. and just got the bug and end up moving to Atlanta and end up help co-organizing one here. So we did one last year with Renew World Outreach, which is a fantastic partner, first time organizing and connecting with them. If you don't know anything about them, definitely go check out their website. But they, the way I found out about them was through Nick, who's been awesome and is good friends with them. And it turned out that they had actually wanted to put together a hackathon for a while. So some of the folks who gave their testimony about how they presented and came to put Hack together were telling the truth. Like if you're curious and you're thinking about how to get involved or should you do this, absolutely just pray in and go for it. It's an amazing experience, and whether you are participating as someone who's just joining in and coding or hacking, or you want to be an organizer as a champion, or even maybe at some point get involved as a coach, like there's so many ways to contribute. And I think I heard earlier someone mention they just didn't know that one small step could impact so many people. And it's really true. You also make friends. You get to recognize faces. I don't think I've met anyone from the team except one person in person from the Indigenous team and from the community. But I feel like, we're all family and, can talk about anything at any given time. And that's like another advantage. So our hack was in Atlanta. We had about 40 people who signed up. It was pretty awesome because we actually connected across multiple cities, including Oklahoma and Atlanta itself. And we also had some folks come from Brazil, which is pretty awesome. Some other organizations, Dynamis Movement, One Hope out in Florida, and of course Renew. And it was just a fantastic time. We did a more traditional setup. So we were about, uh, a day and a half. We started on Friday, ended Saturday. We had about 9 projects that came out of it, which I have to say, I've been to quite a few hackathons, and I thought the projects that came out were really robust for the time that we had to build. Not everyone who got involved were coders or developers, and I think back to the point that Jonah and the team were making about who gets involved and what you can do, just keep it open and be real flexible. Let the Lord lead you and have fun. The one thing I would say that interested me and sort of came out of this was just a time of reflection, which I usually do, but this pressing notion in the back of my mind and in my heart to meet the need. And there's so many ways you can do that, but I think sometimes even just coming alongside people, encouraging them, cheerleading. You guys heard Nick's testimony at first, and that was his first hackathon, and he just did a phenomenal job and stuck to it. It can be really tempting when you're doing something like this, especially when time is like May. Sometimes we start back in March, and you're going to have this hackathon in October, and you think you have all this time, and then next thing you know, it's October. So what I want to encourage everyone to just keep in mind is the process is you've got a lot of support, a lot of help. The team is phenomenal. They've been doing this a number of times, and think about the people that you meet and the interactions that you have as the seeds planted to touch lives in more ways than just getting together and building things for technology, which is great. But it goes beyond that. And let people, especially if you come on alongside with other folks, let their vision kind of flow as well. And that sometimes is the greatest collaboration. In fact, on the chat while everyone was talking, Joe, I think he's still on the call, but he's someone who I've known for a long time. We met at Code for the Kingdom way back in the day. That was like the first hackathon we met at. We've stayed in touch. And then we did Hack 2022 in New York together. We did Hack Atlanta last year. And he just asked me like, "Oh, where are we doing Hack this year?" So once you get started, you get the bug. You don't want to stop. And just keep in mind that the products can be really diverse. And it's just something that you meet people with different backgrounds, and think helping people to feel comfortable just comes from being yourself. And you get excited, you get involved and document your work and just things of that nature. But whether you want to do something as simple as meet at a coffee shop, or you want to have a more traditional hackathon like what we did, where we stayed overnight, and worked with teams and presented projects, or whether you just want to, build some social media or things of that nature, there's always a way to reach people. But just remember to have joy, get excited, pray, and then roll up your sleeves and get it done. That's the key, and reach out to everyone. So, oh, one more last thing too. I would encourage everyone to take a look at the resources that are on the Hack Indigitous site. I mean, it's awesome. They've already put the timeline up and given a lot of resources that are available really early. It just helps to ask questions, join in for as many, if not all, the calls. They're really, really helpful. And it's always nice to match some names to faces. And I hope to catch up with you guys as we go through the process and get ready for Hack in October. Back to you, Jonna.
Yes, thank you so much, Dawn. It's so crazy to me that I think about it that we met for how many years now already? And we haven't met in person yet, but we all always been like on calls and in the hack community. And I would also like to encourage people here on the info session. I could see a lot of the conversations already. Guys, don't plan yet. Why are you planning on the group chat? I'm kidding. But I could see some of the people here connecting already, especially from those from Singapore. Manfred is looking for you. And some of you are already planning some stuff in Canada. Some of you have already been planning, and Jerome has been looking for people in Texas. So you could continue to connect with people on here. And that's so cool because this is just an info session, but I could see collaboration already happening in the group chat. Wow, how cool is that? You guys are so amazing. So we're open to have 2 to 3 questions, 2 questions for our time. And before that, I would like to also acknowledge the presence of our coaches on here. So if you are also looking to be a champion, you don't have to worry of what to do because there are also coaches who will be guiding you through the process. So we also got people from different time zones coming in from Europe, coming in from Africa, Asia, those who have experiences in digital outreach, experiences in product development. So there would be an army of people who will be helping you out. So thank you so much for our coaches coming in from different parts of the world. And also our Hack 2024 judge, JD is also here. Yeah, so why don't we open our time? If you got some questions on here, would love for you to chat, to type in your questions so that we could answer them. So yeah, those in Singapore, Manfred is looking for you. People already planning on the chat, so that's good. And yeah, Dawn, I also had my first hackathon in 2016 in Code for the Kingdom, but I joined in Jakarta while you were in the US. So that's also cool. All right, Wasco, what are some sample timelines for planning between now and October? Okay, that's a good question. So we will be starting our hack virtual guide on July, yeah. And then you could start planning and thinking about the basic questions that Naomi sent earlier about where it is potentially, who are the people who will be joining you on the team. But as to like the meetings, it will be starting on July. So July, August, September, and then October. So you will have ample time, 3 months ideally, to be able to plan for, convene people, connect with your venue, also market to your participants as you do your hackathon. So we will be starting the kickoff on October 4, and you guys will be, ideally, should already be ready by that time. Hopefully that's a helpful answer. Bosco, let me know. What's the biggest hackathon you've ever worked with? We've got 400 people in our global hack, in a local hack, actually, and it happened in Bangkok. Would you guess? It's called Soilbox Hackathon. So you could actually like rename it if that would work for your context. It's okay. But as long as there are DNA of taking the gospel to new people, places, and spaces is there, then you're doing hack. All right. Michael's question, are all projects chosen before a hackathon, or do some emerge during the hack? Yes, the projects are emerging during the hack. But last year, we got some of the people who joined with a project that is brought before the hackathon. And so it would really depend on the local champion on how that would look like in your context. All right, great questions. There's a question here from Gaurav. I want to know, how exactly are we hoping for God to work? Are we taking on the projects that the church or Christian universities require, or are we hoping to share Jesus with the people who attended the hackathon? Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, in the first hackathon that we had in Manila in 2016, there was somebody who joined who doesn't know Jesus yet. So since the people who came were already those who have a relationship with Christ, they used the opportunity to actually share Christ to one of their teammates who don't know Jesus yet. So since the solutions that you will be working for are also coming in from the global challenges, some of the people who might be attracted by it could not always be followers of Christ, but you could use the opportunity to share Jesus to them. So it would really be depending on how you will run the hack. You have the freedom actually to posture it as how you would sense God will be using that opportunity in your city. It is so good to be able to share your questions. I love them. Please continue on sharing these questions on chat in our WhatsApp community. We will be there to answer your questions. All right. So are we expected to host only for the Christians ideally? Yeah, that's a good question. So what works in your context is what I will say for this situation. But ideally, we invite people to create solutions to help share the gospel. So it's we don't want to limit the Holy Spirit in what he would like to do, but I would say to be open for how you will be led to invite or who are the target audience that you have for your hackathon. All right, so you can share these questions. There's a lot, and I love these questions. Yes, please post them in our WhatsApp chat. We would love to share these questions for you. Answer these questions in the WhatsApp community, which we have designed for you guys. So please post them there, and we will be answering these questions there as well. And of course, our hack community, like everybody who is here, you're also welcome to share your thoughts about that as well. All right. So thank you so much for your questions. This is now the time to ask the Lord. I know that you guys have already been thinking about what's next. And which is really showed by the questions in here. As we cap this time of sharing and exploring what's possible with the skills, influence, and availability that God has given you in this season, I would like to welcome the Indigitous co-founder and lead catalyst, who has also been a wonderful mentor and colleague, Simon Xiao.
Hey everybody, so good to see you guys. So wonderful to see friends, and I trust that the time has been fruitful for you. You've learned a couple of things. I know many of you are new to us, and we're so glad that you chose to spend your time with us. Thanks for staying with us. As you've heard, and as we have been listening to all that's being shared, I'm sure lots of things are kind of rising up within you, and you're wrestling with like, oh my, what is God asking me to do? One of the verse that came to me as I was preparing for this time is 1 Peter 2:9, and I would love to read for you from the Message version. It says, "But you are the ones chosen by God, chosen for the high calling of priestly work, chosen to be a holy people, God's instrument to do his work and speak out for him, to tell others of the night and day difference he made for you, from nothing to something, from rejected to accepted. I love this verse. The Message version just makes it so beautiful. We've been called and given this high calling, or chosen with the high calling of a priestly work. So look around what you've heard today, the stories and the energy from across the globe. You will notice that this is not just an event. We're not asking you to host an event. This is a picture of a movement. You've caught a glimpse of what God is already doing through faithful people who say yes, ordinary people, digital missionaries, storytellers, coders, volunteers, designers, pastors, creators, everyone on mission. You heard from Russ, those of you who joined us early, we're in India. What a wonderful story. The quote that I wrote down, it says, I never knew that such a small step of faith would make such a difference for millions. Where a small team took a leap of faith, they hacked together a tool called Christian Reels. And then thousands of churches now use it to share their stories. And then you heard from Nicholas, and then of course from Joy, and what a wonderful testimony from Dawn. I've never met Dawn, but I read her emails that she shares, and I can feel the heart coming out from those words. You know, that's the ripple effect of trusting God with a yes. When you say yes, there is this ripple effect that moves on, and now it's your turn. It's important to remind ourselves, and I need to remind myself, you are chosen. Chosen not just to be His, but to represent Him. We are to be someone through whom God can work, priests, right? That's the word. And the priestly work, and by the way, a priest in the scripture has two main roles: represent God to the people, right? And then to represent the people to God, bringing their needs, their prayers, and stories before Him. But actually, there's one more role that the priest plays, is to create this sacred space, building a place where people can encounter God. And priestly work doesn't just happen on a Sunday. I know some of you serve faithfully at church, and that is excellent priestly work. But it happens also on Slack channels and coffee shops, on GitHub, on TikTok, through memes, prayer, and lines of code, right? So when you step up to host hashtag, you're not just organizing an event, you're creating a sacred space. My gosh, a space where people can discover that they too have a place in God's mission, a place where someone's line of code or social media idea or creative outreach initiative or prayer might become that spark that brings Jesus into their story, a new life. As a host, you help to hold this space for the creativity, for the collaboration, and the calling. And through that, you're playing your part in taking the gospel to new people, new places, and new spaces. So you're God's instrument, essentially, right where you are in your context with your gifts. Everyone is on mission. So as I kind of wrap this up, let me ask you this question. How has God written your story? I believe you're not here by accident. You didn't just join this call because it was the funnest thing to do in the world. It is pretty fun with Jonah hosting it. But, how has God written your story? And what has He done in you that the world needs to hear? In other words, who or where is your Mark 16:15? Right? Who around you needs hope, truth, or belonging? And maybe more specific question is this: would you trust God to gather a group of 10 or 20 or maybe 50? I know some of you are trusting God for 150 around you. We're not asking you all to put on a big show. That's not the point. But to create the space, remember? To hold the space for people to listen, pray, dream, use their talents, and then to hack together. Because every movement starts small, right? With someone like you saying, yes, I'll take that first step. So here's my invitation to you. You could be God's catalyst. And then you can prayerfully say, Lord, who can I gather? Who can we do this together with? Just like Nick, he started small and he said, I'm sure I have a few friends. I'm sure I can buy pizza. But then he decided to open it up and trust Him, God, to show up. Because when you take that little step, just like the volunteers in India and like Nick or Joy or Dawn, God can turn it into something far beyond what you imagine. Right. So here's my invitation to you. We know the scripture has already told us that we are the royal priesthood. We carry God's presence, and we've been entrusted with that story that He's already writing in our hearts. So go into all the world, even this digital world, and tell of the night and day difference He's made in you. And then we just need to start now. Start small, but start. So on the screen now, you will get a Zoom poll, and here's our invitation for you to say yes. And maybe you're not quite ready. You can say no, it's okay. Or maybe you say maybe. Or I know of somebody that I need to come on board with me. We just want you to indicate. This is not signing your life away. We're not asking you to pinch your finger with some blood, and no, none of that, right? And we're not showing these results to anyone. It's between you and God for now, and then for us to know how to follow through with you. Whatever you put there, we would drop you an email, and we would drop you a text and say, Lord, would you join with this brother or this sister in this journey ahead? So thank you on behalf of the Indigitous global team and many of our fantastic coaches and champions for so many years. We want to thank you that you are stepping up and considering. And if you're not sure, it's okay. We're so glad you're part of this as well. So over to you, Jonah. By the way, I just want to say Jonah and the team has been doing a fantastic job. Please give them a big virtual clap, a thumbs up, a heart, whatever you want to do on the chat, just to appreciate them. All right. So over to you, Jonah. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And I'd love that you guys are very much engaging, and I've seen all the questions that you've shared, and we would love to answer them. And also we got your answers to the poll as well. If some of you haven't replied yet, please answer please open, or if you can see the poll over there, kindly let us know about your answer. So first is yes, count me in. Second is maybe, I'm not sure yet. And third is not right now. I could recommend someone. We can also support you one-on-one. If you would like to ask questions on an email, we could support you also there. So you can send in your questions to hack@indigitous.org. And I am also in the Hack community WhatsApp. If you have questions, you can also find me there and send in your questions. Okay, 1 minute more. Thank you so much, Jason. Jason is one of our hack champions last year. Salamat gid, Kuya Ale. So you can continue to connect with the people in there on the chat. And we want to thank you so much for being here this time. Thank you, Manuel, also for sharing the link on there. All right. Thank you so much for being here for the Hack Info session, everybody. So thank you and have a great day. Bye, guys.